This movie is firmly planted in my mind now that when I'm buying a house, I am going for a house estate. No fucking way am I buying a house in the middle of the countryside all by itself. So The Strangers is a 2008 horror movie telling the story of a young couple who go out to a remote location just to spend some quality time together, and then at 4 in the morning someone knocks at the door and absolutely changes their lives forever. That concept alone was what got me into it. I was looking for the Blu-ray for months. I finally found it and I watched it and I was just blown away because the concept of this movie, it just got me just like that. I immediately, when I heard it, I'm like, I've got to watch that, especially for the fact that there's no purpose for these people being here. They're not going there for revenge or anything. They're just going there because they simply can do this. That's the only reason they go out and do something like this, is just because they are able to do it. And that concept alone for a horror movie really got me intrigued to see how this movie plays out. Now, I didn't watch the theatrical cut on the Blu-ray. They've got the theatrical cut as well as the uncut, or not the unrated extended edition. So that's the edition I watched. Now, I don't know if there's much difference. I didn't really think it was that gory, wasn't that bloody. I was expecting a lot more. The fact that they had the unrated name right there, but personally, I didn't notice anything too overrated. It's 18s. It makes sense to be 18s, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary for it to be 18s. But the story itself, I thought this movie, the horror itself, was fantastic. Me personally, horror doesn't always get me in a way that I jump or get scared. This movie had some moments where I was afraid. I watched with my girlfriend. She spent the majority of the movie panicking and being terrified of what was happening because this could happen to anyone. So I understand why she was getting scared, because there's a very high chance, well, not very high chance, there is a chance that this could happen to someone she knows. This could very much happen to herself. So the fact that you put yourself in the shoes of these characters definitely makes it a more horrific movie for you. As well, the fact that they're wearing masks throughout this movie definitely adds a more horror element. The fact that we never see their faces, I loved the fact that we never got to see their faces. Something I really didn't like in this movie was our main characters. I didn't like them. I thought they were very generic, nothing really good. They kind of set something up at the start that kind of puts them at odds, but of course they work together, and I just really didn't like them. They were both idiots. We both found, me and my girlfriend, we both said it throughout the movie, like, oh, why are you doing that? That makes no sense. Stay together, don't do that, that's stupid. And we just kept saying it over and over again, because the majority of the stuff they do in this movie is just stupid. It makes no sense. If they stopped and thought for a single second, they would have realized what they were doing was stupid. And I know in those moments you're not really going to think, you're not going to do, but just what they were doing just completely baffled me and made no sense whatsoever. I don't understand why they thought what they were doing was smart, and of course what they did just did not help the situation whatsoever. So it really did baffle me why they were doing what they were doing. Of course the scriptwriter would have made them do that to keep the story going, but when you kind of step out from that, it really doesn't work for the story, because these characters are just so stupid. One of the things I really didn't like about this movie was the ending, and by the ending I mean literally the last second of the movie. Literally ended, me and my girlfriend went, oh, I don't like that. The ending itself I enjoyed. It was just the last second of the movie I really didn't like. The way they wrapped it up, which is something you really have to get right with a movie, is the ending, because of course that is the last thing they leave you with. And if that kind of falls flat, the movie kind of falls flat. Personally though, I did really enjoy the movie. It's just that literally the last second of this movie I just thought was just crap. I really didn't like the last second of this movie. I also really love the atmosphere in the movie. The fact that they are in the middle of nowhere, in the dead of night. They've got nothing around to help them. They've got no weapons. They've got literally nothing to help them with as well. The kind of villains of the movie. I love that for the most part, besides one word every now and again, they say absolutely nothing, and it just makes them even more menacing. Especially when you see our characters in like somewhere hiding, they look out and you see the characters and they're just looking around, and they look directly at you, and you know they're looking directly at them. But it's one of those scenarios where we can see from where our person is, we can see them looking and we can see them clearly, but for some reason they can't see us. So I thought that was just so menacing looking, and it reminded me very much of Michael Myers. And this movie itself though, I did really enjoy it. Besides my kind of complaints with our kind of main heroes, the fact that they are really boring, they're really idiots, especially the female character for a lot of the movie. I couldn't really hear what she was saying because she whispered a lot of the thing, and I actually, it's not because I had the volume down low, because I could hear everything else really well. She just was whispering for a good portion of the movie. But honestly, The Strangers, I really enjoyed myself. I'm kind of glad I did because I did buy the Blu-ray, as you can see, and I am definitely going to watch the sequel. I'm looking forward to watching the sequel now because I hope it's just as good. It came 10 years later. I don't know why it took so long to do. I'm assuming it's the same characters. I know nothing about the sequel, so I'm probably going to watch the sequel in the next day or so and probably do a review on that. So if you want to hear my thoughts on Strangers Pray at Night, make sure you click that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on The Strangers in the comment section down below. Did it scare you? Did it not? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. And as always, thanks for watching.